place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything is wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is There's a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything's wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now?
Just outside of most people's picks to get through of the top 8 and are underdogs in this matchup, of course, but have a chance to show that they could play close to a team like Vitality who are not on their best form.
So let's see it, folks. Map 1 of the Antwerp Major, and it's underway. We've already got this slow creep and crawl from Vitality, maybe expectant of something out of Complexity's apartments setup. Oh, excuse me, inversed. Dupree waits in the apps. First contact, no kills. They get ever closer. And off that flashbang, they decide to pop. Dupree suddenly, quick hit. Magisk is the one to come in with the kill, and a second. Then Fang swings out from pit, gets the better of him, grabs the USP, and they're just cautious for a moment, thinking of a quick flank maybe, but it's nothing but this rotation here. Vitality, they went for that 3-player B setup, and now the retake's on. Fang, deep corner. Nade is perfect. That's him softened up. And then the two others of Junior and JT deep in pit. They wait. Smoke fades. Double Vitality wrap onto the short side. They still have the utility to get the players out of here. And sure enough, Apex hits a cracker of a headshot from deep on Arch. Junior blinded, can't help Fang whatsoever. Clean retake here from Vitality.
That's impressive. Usually when that Moto Smoke goes down, after 2 successful entries, getting into pit with control that quickly, the round is over 90% of the time. That's a pretty amazing retake here for Vitality to kick things off. They did just as well on the counter utility as Complexity did on the entries. And Complexity did a great job of transitioning from their first spot in the halls to their first flash coming out of the halls. But I think they also either caught a counter flash or ate one of their own. And that allowed for some of the CTs to get kills. This is, yeah, some beautiful work for sure for Vitality. So not a fun way to lose a round. But the buy is still pretty good. We've got 4 rifles here for Complexity.
Yeah, that shot in pit felt clean. Seeing it back, Apex, all right.
That was Mr. Clean. Yeah.
All right. Now Vitality with a bit more forward presence here in Apartments. Felt like Complexity were really waiting for that in the first round. Crawling 5 players up alt. Waiting, no peek. But if Grim and Floppy... Oh! Grim, he gets an assist with the wall bang. Zywoo comes up from Boiler to try and trade, but that's 2 kills instantly from that apps crawl. Apex very quickly on the flank here. JT's going to hear it, can't stop it. Again, Apex, the form is good. 2.5 kills. Zywoo re-aggresses, comes in from the alternative entrance to the apps, and it is Junior and Junior alone.
Oh, man, that was a chance if they had heard Apex any sooner. I mean, the fact that he gets that much damage means that, of course, now Junior's odds are so low. As soon as he pops up, he's been spotted as well. Go down to Masuda, and Vitality will pick up a second. Of course, that's Apex saving the day with his banana push after a couple of beautiful entries from Floppy and that wallbang assist, yeah, from Grim, jumping up into halls. So a risky setup to pull off in the second round. I think Vitality thought after the first halls pop that maybe, and they were going to go into full guns, they wouldn't go into halls control maybe. So if you take over halls early, you can get that, late alt push or early alt push in that circumstance, but it almost got countered. Was that a pumpkin in mid?
Dude, there's pumpkins. I also saw candy corn. I swear to God, in the pistol, I saw candy corn coming out of somebody's gun.
Yeah, I mean, Halloween is most people's favorite holiday, I'd say. Oh, okay.
That's the Masuda peak. With Apex, a couple of A1Ss, long-range combat, and long-range impact. Everybody getting wrecked here from Complexity. No footing in round number 3. It is a slaughter and an economic boon for Vitality's CT side.
Yeah. So they have weaknesses on B because sometimes the setups become pretty uninspired between Masuda and Apex, and there has been actually a history of this with Masuda when we saw him play upper site with, not Navera, who was it? It was Kyojin, right.
They gotta go down that list, man.
Right. There's been a lot of players who have played for Vitality, but when he played upper site with Kyojin, there were a lot of problems there. In terms of playing off each other, doing something outside of like vanilla setups where you're playing a CT rotator, one at coffins, and I think sometimes if Apex isn't seriously lucid and saying, all right, we need to do this to make it interesting, then they fall into the trap of just being in very predictable spots. Right now, it feels like they're switched on, so that's a good sign for Vitality.
Yeah, nice next level start. Good grenade damage on Fang as well to kick off this one. And there's this conversation around, Complexity in their fragging department. If it's not Floppy, is it Fang? Is it Grim? Who is the second-hand man to stand up?
Yeah, I think you've identified the core right there.
Should be those 3, but can anybody handle the heat that is Zywoo? He opens up. Dupree, 1 health on the fallback. And there's the double kill. JT and Grim. Easy does it. Questionable position here now because all of a sudden you've lost a player on each side of brackets, but you still have 2 for Vitality on this A-site defense.
Yeah, the interesting part about this is it doesn't damage the CT setup too much. So everyone's in a spot where they're comfortable actually not moving very much. So it'll be hard to find a timing for the T side, but grouping and hitting is, of course, the key. Right now, Dupree on site only has 1 health, so that'll make the big difference. It just comes down to whether or not this can be identified fast enough. And Dupree gets isolated. The rotator comes around from Zywoo, and he'll be late to help him out.
Yeah, this is Complexity breaking through. JT, creeping crawl through smoke, and a movement from Zywoo that didn't tilt the scales back in their favor whatsoever.
Yeah, that's well done.
Complexity are in.
Yeah, that's a super solid round. And we know that on T sides, I think. I have a lot of confidence in JT to call really cohesive movements between their players. Again, some of the individual inconsistency is a problem, and that's something that transcends Complexity. That's just most teams in Counter-Strike have an issue with consistency when it comes to T sides, entrying, individual efforts. But as you mentioned, the interesting part about
Ooh.
what we're calling the core on complexity. If we're going to say it's Fang, Floppy, and Grim, well, it's not the Opper. You know, the 3 players who are the most reliable, probably best players on the team, Junior is just outside of that, and that is also a problem for complexity.
Well, first round, not an issue here. They've got it on the board. 4 rounds into the game. Comes by way of, first of all, very nice utility usage to get Dupree out. He's not one of the opening kills, but, I mean, he was engulfed in fire off the top of the porch. Fell back, 1 health. Then we get this, like, you know, little bit of repositioning from both sides of brackets. Insta-kills, both directions for complexity. You take off one of those 2 kills, maybe that A-site's still able to hold strong. Maybe Dupree supports, even though he's such low HP. But alas, the op is in from Zywoo. And if you've highlighted that question mark of Junior's opping on complexity, well, it's an exclamation point for Vitality. We have to remember, this is still one of the best players in the world.
He is the 2nd best player by a big margin. So I just want to point that out. A lot of people have said, yeah, oh, Zywoo, who's not the same as he used to be. People say this every year, actually. And last year he ended up 2nd. This year he's still in that exact same position.
JT's entry, shut down.
Okay.
Masuda, couple of kills.
Wow, that's
now,
well
a Vitality with a Masuda hold, that's a stronger Vitality. That's the best form of Vitality.
Yeah, that's their weakest point right now.
And he's 7-1 to start off this map. So 2 clean kills for him. He just faces from that site. We saw the utility pressuring Banana. Another couple of kills for Vitality leaves Grim on his own. He's got a chance at this A site, but Dupree, again, this is a forward-facing Vitality. We see it at the top of B site, 2 players standing in front of Cross. Dupree here in a comfortable 4v1 takes an initiative. Vitality, I think, feeling themselves, and reasonably, with this strong start. No consecutive wins so far for the T side.
Hey, nothing wrong with the tactic to try to take, when they get the fast Banana control, to try to transpose right into the site hit, or look to see if anyone is going to challenge them from oranges or CT spawn. They don't see that to get into the site, and Masuda outguns them. And yeah, that's what he's best at.
Oh, pressure again. Masuda gonna find his entry. 4 health, but Fang, dude, poor guy. He has just been bombarded by grenades on Banana.
There was 0 support there. He had no smoke for himself, no window flash, I don't think, to stop the CTs from coming down. They gave him an AK. They said good luck.
Nade comes out, chips down Grim. Dupree and Magisk in the pit. Grim does manage to get across towards Hay Bales, so there's this little minute opening maybe for him, especially versus Masuda, but not with Magisk shooting that sharp. Dupree, easy kill versus Floppy. His back is turned, and Masuda will tuck into that bomb site as the last 2 members of Complexity try to work their way through mid. It's the Deagle of JT, the AK of Junior, and Apex on the Moto hold. Locks this one in. Another 2K, and it feels like all the multi-frags belong to Vitality.
Another issue for Complexity is they didn't get the chance to boot camp. We're one of the latest teams to arrive here, the PGL Major, and have only had a couple of days to practice. So, you know, the last officials that they've played were at the Pro League. And apart from that, I'm sure snuck some practice in at the RMR, but they have mentioned that it's just not feeling too great to have come in so late. So that's something they'll also have to kind of learn on the fly.
Yeah, well, they got 4 days to figure it out.
Yeah.
Crunch time. Junior gonna make a ruckus inside of the apartments. Magisk easily turns around for that one and cuts Grim off of the doorway as well. Still feels like there's somebody up there. He's not wrong. JT hot on the heels of Junior. Also, just victim of the MP9. 1, 2, 3, easy does it.
I think Vitality are fine.
You think they're good? Yeah.
They're doing pretty good.
Which is nice to see because obviously, I think this was something where I felt like at the RMR, it was almost like there was a question mark still surrounding them. But if you look at their losses, it's versus Navi and FaZe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but
so,
they before that even, they had lost 8 out of their 10 big series. So there are still real questions about Vitality. Complexity are not good enough to put those to bed. Last major, the Stockholm major, they barely made it out of Legends. Barely made it out of Legends. That was really, really tight, and they should have definitely been top 8. Almost didn't have that expectation near the end. And at this major, the Challenger stage is maybe even a little harder. I think that, them not making it a Challengers would be pretty horrible. But at the same time, based on what we've seen, they're not actually of the quality right now where you could say for sure they're going to make it through. I mean, when you were doing your pick'em, looking through the teams that were gimmies, Vitality were one of those teams. And even Vitality are not right now one of the teams you could feel 100% safe on.
Well, nice showing so far. 8 rounds into this one. Dispatching of Complexity's challenge. But now we're going to see this op in the hands of Junior. First time on this T side, he will have a chance to counterpick ZywOo. I think there's also been this point of contention versus Fang. His utility, the utility that's destined for him anyways. Like that frag right there, again, down to 52. A consistency here is Fang just getting pummeled by utility damage and then being that first easy kill swept under the rug. Vitality going to lean towards A site, 4 players here. Very nice to see Masuda being utilized so aggressively. You know, he's off to a flying start, 8-1.
Yeah,
Once more, flashed into the mid-peak. He gets himself the first kill, but Grim's able to trade that with no further damage. Still, that's a confirmation. 3 players from Complexity at the top of mid. So Magisk, high alert. Peeks out, almost gets caught by the floppy challenge, but he'll succeed and keep that 4v3 comfortably for Vitality.
Damn, game plan is looking amazing right now. As soon as they ran at the top mid and saw Masuda, they realized they lost before the round started. That first kill comes out, and they even try to continue to challenge, and then they know it's a 4A setup, but it's so late now the CTs have time to rotate over. Apex has an incendiary here at the 40-second mark, and some flash support as well.
Flash goes in.
Oh, he's not using it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Junior would have had a shot at that, but instead it's Apex just locking in this B hold. Grim on 50 health, his third victim, 1 magazine, 3 kills, and a solo B play from Apex, looking good.
They're playing very lean CS. It's every nade is being used adequately. Like that late nade that hit Fang this time at the bottom of steps after he tried to delay and come out.
Yeah.
They are being very smart and clearly are incredibly prepared for what Complexity want to bring. This is a game that's showing us levels right now.
I'm expectant of maybe a bit more B targeting as this T side goes on. But I feel like first they've got to survive that utility early.
Yeah, that's always the catch-22. Sometimes you wait it out and then
Skynade.
all that happens, rotations come towards you. You go too soon, and it's Dunkirk. We all know how that went.
ZywOo hunts. Oh my God, goes for the super wide peak, but Junior will have him scurrying back into Arch. T-side still leaning on a smoke and a flash from Floppy.
Yeah, when we look at the minimap, in all of these different moments, you just see the CTs perfectly well set up for the attack that is coming, whether they realize it or not. Starting to move now over towards B, thinking, wow, can we get it right 6 times in a row? Surely not. We must be wrong eventually.
Apex tuned in. A little bit of a stress point here as the silence creeps across the map. Grim and Floppy ready to posture from the apartments, and they just get shredded. Magisk and Dupree. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean. Apex got to save his voice. I mean, we got like a lot of matches.
We got a lot of games.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to go on that run.
Got to take it slow. Well, yeah, they got to be pretty happy with themselves, at least today for this opening matchup. Couldn't be starting any better. And, you know, apart from just the fact that everyone's aim looks pretty good, it's the setups that are catching my attention the most, I think. You know, Vitality at the end of 2020 had some of the best CT setups, the most dynamic, the most varied. The most depth of the playbook, and at a certain point, it felt like they just stopped using it for no reason. Here's a good example of where they're using it the best.
Ooh.
This is also new.
Flash with Masuda and ZywOo ready to face Banana.
Look at this brave man.
And this is that B lean. You know, it's kind of Complexity drawn to the fire.
Oh, and they just flash retook calls, didn't see anybody.
Frag comes out from Cole. ZywOo, there's that flash. Masuda, 2. And Grim from Wood locks that one in. At least some kind of an answer, but an easy fallback. And honestly, you'll trade Masuda for 2 Ts.
Yeah, now they take over Hall's control. They actually cheat over to pick up Arch, but there is now a gap on the top of Banana because they're leaned so heavily to the bottom of the map. I think Apex is going to try to yell as loud as he can to scare the T's away, but he really does want them to go A.
Smoke ahead of them. Difficult decision to make. And
wow, this flank is fast.
dupreeh getting ever closer to the rear end of Complexity, which is being watched. Floppy could just crack this one back, and then suddenly it is that A rotate fast, but that would assume dupreeh goes for his peak. And right now, he's just down in the Trolls caves. He waits. Magisk, nice, clean off angle. Grim never sees that coming, and right off of that execute, here comes dupreeh. It is a guillotine from the back of the attack. Junior pulled between two directions. The fact that dupreeh doesn't extend into that next kill, he knows that Junior is right there, and he just tucks wall, lets it be.
Yeah.
And this is Vitality moving easily through the CT side.
Yeah, fluidly. It's like clockwork right now, and I mean, we had dupreeh rotate into the underpass, sit in his position, top mid player peeks, doesn't see anybody to clear him. He starts slowly on that flank. Top mid guy goes over to B. Suddenly it's 3B with a full flank on B. And I hadn't even seen this off angle played before. That was a really nice one from Magisk.
They caught him boosting, Mo. They caught those T's boosted.
Ooh, yeah. Well, on the one round Complexity won, they planted the bomb. That's good.
Yeah, and in the pistol. And other than those 2 rounds,
it's pretty blue.
Yeah.
It is pretty blue.
Pretty blue, pretty bleak.
Yes. Magisk has been the most interesting one for me because obviously he's still super young, insanely skilled, and there's no reason he should just fall off or anything going to a new team. But he has also been kind of inconsistent since joining Vitality, whereas dupreeh didn't have as much of a struggle. 2 different people just from the same team, so it is a kind of a question of, oh, why is that happening? But he's somebody that if he starts coming up, then I think we might see the team become, you know, more of the sum of their parts like we expected.
Timing here, Apex. Again, he finds the back. JT and Junior, that's all of the utility, all the support nades that were probably about to be primed over top of mid for that potential apps pop, and then you just see Complexity limp back like, oh, we got to clear mid.
Yeah, exactly.
And with it, dude, the life of this round for Complexity just drained.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to take out Elise in the halls instead.
3 players killed with their backs turned, and then poor Floppy, a victim of a blind dupreeh. Fang will get his hands on the M4, but that's 4 out of 5. Attacked from the back. Vitality, they are everywhere at all times.
Hopefully they didn't have too much like coffee and didn't do too much exercise. I mean, I think the only thing you'd regret at this point is trying too hard before the match starts, right? If it goes this easily. There we go.
You know, and for all of you North Americans who are waking up early to see your teams play, well, we've got Liquid after this.
Yeah, that'll be a really great game. Liquid G2. 2 teams that are capable of everything and nothing as well.
That's putting it politely.
Yeah.
Well framed.
I thought I would prop up Liquid a little there. But I think it is true that both are... So we can hold Liquid to a higher standard than Cole right now, unfortunately.
Oh!
But, well...
Grim.
Oh, he just missed that.
And bang on the chase. Oh, he gets a bunch of damage in. That's a weird Molotov. Smoke in front.
Oh, this
bungled.
Damn, they try to follow the nades and think about trying to get into the site after Fang had that opportunity. They just needed the 1 kill.
Yeah.
And now they invested a little bit, but they held on to the majority of their important utility, and they know that nobody sandbags, so this will save them some time.
That felt like one of the best open doors they'd seen yet.
You know what? I mean, they got Floppy at the end of halls here. Bomb is at the top of mid.
It'll hinge on killing Zywoo. Ooh, and he just missed the timing of that peak. Thinking about the apps play, this
Arch is open.
That could be huge.
Hey,
that
this is not a bad round.
Huge.
But are they going to go B? I think they should. Whoa. This might be the mistake. Well, Miss dupreeh is just... Oh, they left it open just for dupreeh to watch it.
Floppy tries to chase Zywoo. Another instant of a player getting away from a chase. dupreeh cuts down the bomb. Now bomb confirmed in CT spawn. At the 25-second mark, it doesn't matter if you've got that A site. Apex comes out from the side of the coffins, and it is JT and Floppy in a desperate 2v4. Quick trade frag in from dupreeh, and again, bomb. It makes a world of difference. This is Complexity forfeiting 11th to Vitality CT side.
All right, there's a lot to talk about with that one. Of course, Captain Hindsight, they should have gone A and have their B players come back towards that site. That's with us seeing the full map. What was interesting for Vitality is they left Arch open for that long, and I thought it was because they had ZywOo spotting, but he only spotted one time. In reality, they called the timing smartly. They had Dupree sitting dedicated in B, watching for the spawn walkthrough. Now, normally you don't leave that gap because your A-site players need some more support, and the rotations are way too slow if someone could have gone through CT spawn. So you like to keep eyes on Arch, even if you're sitting only in Speedway. But it ends up working out so well there. I think Complexity may have psyched themselves out a little bit. Walking through spawn towards B in any situation like that where a player could be quad, they could just see you by accident, right? So it's a little hard sometimes to sneak them through. I think they try to smoke CT spawn to help them out.
Well, this one's a little bit faster. And Magisk able to handle that early heat. Junior, that's a clean headshot at the very least, but ZywOo right there with the trade. We've got 2 Ts ready to walk through smoke, and Dupree will shave Grim off this. JT kind of stuck right there, wanted a kill, wanted that repeat, but it's, of course, Masuda to come with it. And Fang, through smoke, gets the better of Apex. That's something. But something won't be enough. ZywOo locks this one in. Vitality feels like they can do no wrong.
Yeah, Complexity are inside the honeycomb right now. There are bees everywhere, and they're getting stuck on all the sticky hexagons.
Ugh.
So, hope it tastes good at least.
Sweet nectar. The nectar of French CS.
Has antibacterial properties.
Really?
Honey, yeah.
Wow.
So,
hey man, save the bees.
superfood.
Flash to the top of Banana. You know, Maui Snake on the desk did prelude that JT and TC would have some aggressive rounds lined up for us. I feel like we haven't seen too many of them. That last one tried to definitely kick up the tempo, had a kill or two, but Vitality's players, just everybody's so sharp. Dupree, 15-4. Masuda, 11-4. Magis, 15-6. And those three right there. Whew. Oh, and then, of course, JT's melon gets popped through Floppy. He comes back at it, kills Fang, and it is Vitality 13-1, kicking NA while they're down.
Wow. We're not even, are we down already? Damn it. We're
Yeah, we
already
started
down,
down,
and we're getting
We
kicked.
started down. Ooh. Look at that. See ya.
Yeah, that's not too great.
We got to keep eyes on Magis this round. He said, guys, I want to do something. Run through. Oh, okay, Madman. And there's the support. Little Danish flair on the alt play.
We can do no wrong. Ah, jeez.
Flash is perfect.
Yeah, it's just
Everything,
right on
dude.
him.
This is such a well-oiled war machine on the side of Vitality. It's only Junior left. 1 versus 3 attempt. Looking for Complexity's 3rd bomb plant in this half. 2 plants, 1 round, and a pumped Apex at the helm of a very strong Vitality.
Yeah, they're relaxing, they're focused, they're moisturized, they're in their lane. They know how this game is going to end. So if I'm Complexity, this is really good. Nice practice. Looks like they're still laughing. Yeah,
They're still laughing.
They are funny guys.
They're
very funny guys. They are very funny guys.
You know, and listen, optimism, it goes a long way.
Is next to godliness. Grim's not okay.
Not optimistic?
No, he's saying. I think he stubbed his toe or something.
I mean, it's max 6 kills on the side of Complexity.
ZywOo hasn't died yet.
He hasn't died yet? Oh my god. 10-0. Can ZywOo win a game of Counter-Strike without dying?
Why'd you say that? Tell me why you said that. Why'd you say
I
that?
had to.
I wouldn't say something like that.
Let's see. Let's see. As Floppy goes headhunting towards mid, Apex. Dude, how many times has Apex killed them on this flank?
God
and now
damn it.
he's the guy that's going to wait them out.
He knows this flank.
Oh, but one just, yeah. He's got players in both directions. JT's going to go down in CT spawn. Floppy pushes mid. Things are getting weird.
Okay.
And ZywOo's still alive.
Oh, and they go back to A. Junior, it's coming to you.
Dude, it's got to be him. And he takes a higher position. He'll be exposed fully. And Masuda finds that headshot as
Rotations here.
Magisk pirouettes through the bomb site. Masuda's going to keep this one clean.
Masuda's owning right now.
Dude, 15-1. Unless Grim and Fang can come through on this retake. Fight towards top mid gets a little awkward. ZywOo, last man standing. How
if he
poetic.
dies, it'll be the first time he dies this match, this major.
Grim's looking for him. Can't
Oh,
find
he can't
him.
die.
11
He
and
can't die.
0. As Vitality lock in that 15th with 14 match points.
Ay, ay, ay.
Look at this pirouette. He's been getting his dancing skills from Apex.
Wow. Okay. Leave it to ZywOo to bottom frag and steal the show. Huh? This guy.
Can just do no wrong.
Yeah.
All right, Complexity. Definitely the caged animals in this situation, and the Apps play, albeit aggressive, to their detriment. They go down by 2. 4 versus 3 to close the show with a very lopsided opener here at the Major. And I would say, you know, a real exclamation point at the end of this victory for Vitality just means, you know, give us a better contender. If they're gonna chop down the teams like Complexity this easily, then I want to see that 2-0 best of 3. Today's the day to get that locked in.
Yeah.
You know, if you just got to play this well today, and then 3 chances. But alas, get this bomb in. There's still the prying eyes of Junior. Smoke denies that vision. Plant is done. JT walking around these corners. We met by Magisk's Galil. And as much as it hurts to say, NA, this one's all she wrote.
I'm getting ready to go back into my spot for the end of this. Yeah, we'll give it our best go of it here. Okay,
Done.
he goes down. ZywOo has not died at the major, and we played a whole damn match already.
You don't die, man.
17 rounds.
That's crazy.
Man, what the hell was that?
That's a feels good Vitality. And you know what?